All right. I don't know why I always say, all right. So, anyways, this video is going to be all about mountain biking. Well, all about biking in general. So, when we first started our full-time travel, we bought 2 new bikes. One for me, one for Melissa. They were hybrid bikes, basically meaning they weren't a road bike, they weren't a mountain bike. They're right in the middle. So they had thicker tires, lower handlebars, and they're good for around town. You could do some dirt roads, a little bit of everything. Overall, great bikes. We had those bikes when we were in our older fifth wheel. It was a Keystone Cougar, non-toy hauler. So basically we used a bike rack attached to the bumper. Drove all around the country and the bikes got completely hammered. The paint on them got destroyed. We lost axles. We were in Galveston area or Port Aransas on Texas in the Gulf, and the chains completely froze up. I got on my bike to ride it, didn't realize the chain was frozen, completely bent the whole derailleur, so I had to fix that. Basically, it was a non-stop battle to keep these bikes maintained and from getting beaten up. The rack on the back would bounce quite a bit, so I added straps to it to attach it to the frame better. And then eventually the final straw was when we were in South Dakota. We pulled up to a boondocking spot, and luckily we were done driving for the day. We pulled up to this boondock spot, and I get out and I'm kind of looking at the spot before we set up, and I walk around the back of our old fifth wheel and I look, and our bike rack is just completely falling off. It didn't fall off, but it was close. And the bumper had started to fall off. The welds were just ripping away, and basically I had to take everything apart. I had to take everything off of the bumper. I had to make the bikes, the spare tires, the bike rack, everything kind of fit within the fifth wheel, the underbelly, the cab of the truck, and our bikes basically, they were destroyed and they sat for a while. We didn't do anything with them. We were on the road for about another month after that until we got back to our hometown, where we dropped off the bikes at the hometown where we bought them, and they gave them a tune-up for us. Bikes are good to go. Now, the bikes are good to go, and we got a different trailer. We now have a toy hauler. So I kind of want to show you guys what storage setup we're doing for our bikes. Now that they're not going to be outside, we're going to be keeping them in the toy box. I'll kind of show you how we plan on storing them, what our method is for the time being, and kind of go from there. Current day, I'm going to show you the setup for the bikes, but at the same time, I decided that I wanted to get back into mountain biking. I had done it for a while, and it was great, but I got bored with the trails around here, so I decided to pick up another mountain bike, new to me, so when we get back on the road and we're driving all over the place, I can be doing different trails, different mountains, and I'm just really glad that we have the toy hauler to keep it nice and safe and out of the weather and, not falling off the back of our trailer. So let's go inside and I'll give you guys a peek of our new setup. We're still tweaking it. We don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but so far it's pretty good. Oh, hi Zimba. Hi Blue. So this is our new setup here. So basically I built in this built-in desk. This is the whole toy box area. I built in this desk, and underneath what we do is we strap the bikes against the wall. We do take the front tires off, and then we get everything to kind of fit in there, nicely tucked up against the wall. So they're all covered in furniture pads, out of the weather. Much better setup for us. Basically, when we want to go for a ride, this is kind of our setup. So I undo this one ratchet strap right here. Super simple. Take that down, take my helmet out of the way, safety first, and we start to just basically uncover the bikes. So, pretty simple, right? Pretty easy, not falling off the back of a trailer. This is my new bike. This is a used Specialized camber, full suspension. It's got front suspension, rear suspension, and I'm getting back into mountain biking, so pretty stoked on that. So we keep one bike here, and then basically this one will just get moved out of the way. And then we keep the tire for the bike right here. And then we have our second bike, which this is Melissa's bike, right here, wrapped up as well, protected. We have the furniture pad up against the wall to protect the wall. And then we cover up one bike, same thing, tire behind. So that way the bikes aren't rubbing on each other. They definitely don't bounce around as much. And I'm looking forward to this setup. It's a little work because you have to take the front tire off, but overall it saves a lot of space. They're not bouncing around outside. And this is what I was explaining. So this is kind of the hybrid bikes that we had before. Melissa's still rocking this one. I don't know if she's gonna get a mountain bike or not. I know she tried it in the past and she wasn't super confident on rocky trails and whatnot. So that might be something in the future. If I start doing it more, she might get interested in that. But for the time being, this is great. Let's go ride the new bike. Let's go. Come on. We're here at Chumash Trail. Simi Valley actually has really great trails. This one is pretty long, so I probably won't go all the way up because I'm out of shape. But it should be a good test. This bike, what's cool too, is you can lock out the front and the rear suspension. So when you're climbing, you're not losing a lot of your pedal motion and your momentum. So it just helps with the climbing. And overall it makes things a lot easier. And then when you get to the top and you come down, you can drop your seat down, open up the suspension, and have a fun ride and try not to crash and fall like I probably will. All right, so I made it to the bench right here. This is the bench. This is kind of, I think it's like maybe a quarter of the way to the top. I normally just do a half on this trail. Feeling pretty good. I made it all the way up without stopping, so I didn't have to walk. I didn't have to take a break, so that's good. My legs are definitely feeling it, and my lungs are really feeling it. But it's good, right? So while I'm here catching my breath, just kind of want to reiterate on the whole RVing and travel and how it's just all kind of interconnected. RVing tends to get you out of your comfort zone and doing more than you would do regularly, which is great. For those of you who have been with the channel for a while, you know that Melissa and I survived that large mass shooting in Las Vegas. We were at Ground Zero, and you know, that just kind of opens your eyes to things. It makes you realize how short life really is. And for me, it makes me want to be better in general, with every aspect of life. So, you know, taking on new projects, like learning how to edit, helping friends more than I did before, mountain biking, things that are, you know, your comfort zone, you want to get out of that more and more. For a while it was tough, but I think RVing has really helped. And then now we just constantly see ourselves doing more and more stuff that we normally wouldn't do. It's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, so let's get back to mountain biking and destroying our legs and our lungs.
A few moments later.
This is it for me. The trail actually goes way up there. but I'm out of shape, I'll admit it. And we're meeting up for the Escapers annual bash in a couple days, so I want to be able to at least walk around and meet new people and whatnot. But so far, first impressions of the bike are great. Climbs very well. I only fell once, but it wasn't filmed, so it doesn't really count, right? And now I'm gonna go ahead and drop the seat, unlock the suspension, and get ready to head back down the hill. The fun part. Well, it's fun for most people, but I think I just lack confidence on the downhill sections, where going uphill is just will and stamina and strength, and I can just kind of power through. So we'll see. Wow, that was a great ride. Super stoked on the way the bike performed. Climbing was great. I'm just a little out of shape. And then on top of that, on the downhill, man, once you unlock that suspension and drop that post, it's the night and day difference. My old hardtail, I would have struggled just because I don't have the confidence. I feel like the rear suspension, makes up for a bit of that confidence. If you make a mistake, or a section that just looks a little too gnarly for my skill set, I just kind of lean back, firm up a little bit, and the bike just handles it, which is great for me. Kind of being a beginner, I wish I had a full suspension from the get-go. And yeah, this just RVing full time and traveling around the country, especially out west, there's so much great riding. I'm just so ecstatic to be back in this sport, hopefully doing it consistently, and taking you guys on these different trails, these different mountains. Now that I have a bike, I can pay and take the lift up and do some downhill. I love cross country. I love the pedaling. It's a great workout. It's great cardio. So overall, I'm stoked. Just get out there, live your life, enjoy life, take it day by day, and be adventurous.